Rasmus Hojlund can't stop scoring for Manchester United now. He's got his first Premier League goal, scoring each of his last 6 games, six consecutive games with a goal, 7 goal contributions in his last 5 Premier League games. And why is Rasmus Hojlund scoring more goals? Well, we're going to talk about that in today's video, which is 5 things we learned from Manchester United 2, Aston Villa 1. And we've got to start by talking about the recently turned 21-year-old Rasmus Hojlund with 5 goals and 2 assists in his last 5 Premier League games. The 14 before that, he had 0 goals and 0 assists, and just had the media going in on him, having a go and saying he's not ready. Even some Manchester United fans, unfortunately, and on this channel, we've massively defended Rasmus Hojlund because we can see he's a good player and he's showing the world what a good player he is now. Same amount of goal contributions, same amount of goals, not goal contributions, same amount of goals as Darwin Núñez this season, despite Darwin Núñez being in the Europa League, Hojlund being in the Champions League. Hojlund having no service. You've got to remember that. Aged 21 years and 7 days, Hojlund is the second youngest player to score in 5 consecutive Premier League games since Nicolas Anelka. So you can see he's having an impact. But why has Hojlund arrived? Going into point number 1, and then we're going to get into 5 things we've learned from the game. The main thing is that Hojlund's just got that confidence, and he's also recovered from his back injury, so he's more mobile. Hojlund's a good player. He was scoring in the Champions League. Even when he wasn't scoring, he had no service. He was creating for people. He made good runs out wide. But he was lacking that confidence. And now he's got that goal. He's more confident. He's making those runs with more eagerness. He's not overthinking it. He's not deep in it. He's enjoying his football. It's like a weight lifted off his shoulder. I remember the celebration when he scored the winner versus Aston Villa in the 3-2 game. You could see everything just lifted off him because he was just getting a media pressure on him, people writing him off completely. The confidence in Hojlund from getting that goal is massive. Confidence in a striker is massive in football. That is a difference between a striker putting up 5-6 goals and like 20 goals a season. Confidence can be a lot. And when you get the best out of a player and the player has the mental ability to get over a slump and has the ability to score goals, that will happen. Everyone knew Hojlund was a good player. Everyone knew the goals will come. And another reason everyone knew Hojlund was a good player and the goals will come is he's just getting used to the league, the pace of the league, when to make runs, playing with the team. Hojlund said this in an interview himself. He's now sort of learning to, make runs a little bit quicker because the Premier League's a faster paced game than the Serie A. He's learning about how his teammates play, the style of football we play, sort of linking up with teammates. The more and more he gets to know his teammates, he's going to be better. And all in all, I've been happy with Hojlund's all-round link-up play. He drops deep, he receives the ball, he holds up the ball, he dribbles around a few players, plays the ball forward, whether it's a switch of play, whether it's a through ball. Hojlund's link-up play is good. His ability to dribble and take on players 1v1 is good, whether it's out wide, whether it's progressing the ball up the pitch, moving the ball up. I think that he's a very good player, and I think his finishing is massively improved, but he's establishing a relationship with his teammate. And for me, that is the main reason why Hojlund has arrived. He's becoming unstoppable. I think he's going to get better and better. The second thing I learned, and I don't know why it says 3. is that Harry Maguire had a very, very good game. And Harry Maguire, I think, has been good for United this season. I don't think he's a bad player because he offers things. Obviously, Martinez and Varane is the best partnership. But Maguire was immense today. Obviously, if you look at Manchester United's ball progression via passing and carrying, no one contributes more than Harry Maguire. He's one of the few people that's kind of comfortable moving the ball up high areas. And if we continue into this and we look at his statistics here, I think on the ball, he's actually very underrated. I think Rafa Varane's a better centre-back than Maguire, but I think on the ball, Maguire's our best centre-back after Lissandro Martinez. No one can compete with Martinez on the ball, but I do think Harry Maguire on the ball is very underrated. And you look at this here, not only did he win 7 out of 7 aerial duels, not only did he make 5 clearances, 4 out of 4 tackles won, not only did he get the assist, but you look at his passing, you look at his passing lanes, you look at his successful passing. Some of them were so progressive, some of them were so forward, and obviously he carried the ball and got the ball moving up the pitch. And I think when we're in a scenario where our build-up is shocking because we're so reliant on Lissandro Martinez and Luke Shaw, and I should have really made a 6th point to talk about Luke Shaw and Lissandro Martinez, how reliant we are on them, and we need to fix that. I think Harry Maguire did help the most in build-up. He's the only sort of outlet in build-up, and then Delo and third. Yeah. The first thing we learned is that Casemiro in that second half was class. Now, Casemiro is a guy that's been coming under a lot of stick. Casmiro's been coming under a lot of stick recently at Manchester United. People are saying he's done it. Look, he hasn't been great this season. Since he got that red card towards the end of last season, he dropped off. When he first came to United, it was amazing. He got the red card, he dropped off a bit, then he got better again, and then he came back and he dropped off a bit. And I think a lot of it is Casemiro's reminds me of a guy like Rooney. It always takes a few games to get his legs up to the level. And I think today, we saw that. I think the structural setup of Man United's midfield was poor today. I thought that Villa, particularly down our right-hand side, had a lot of freedom, had a lot too much space. The structural setup was poor, and it was very easy for the for Villa to run right through us and run right through our midfield, but that wasn't Casemiro's fault. That was the structural setups fault. That was Ten Hag's fault. Casemiro doesn't have the legs to be 4 different players. But I thought in that second half, Casemiro was really good because he had a lot to do. He won 13 duels. He won 9 tackles and 1 possession 7 times. That's more than any other player on the pitch. And he showed today, you know what, I'm not washed. It's not over. He was on a yellow card today, the most BS yellow card ever. And that second half, he was immense. I even thought he was passing was immense. I think the first half, he was okay, but I think the midfield, particularly at the end of the first half, got played through. But I don't think that was Casemiro. It was more the structural setup. I actually think in the second half, Maynard, Bruno and Casemiro all had good and slightly underrated games. And I'm just happy that Casemiro's had a good game. And I think that he was good personally. Maybe you'll disagree with me because he's been getting a lot of stick lately. He's becoming a scapegoat. And I think it's quite unfair to make Casemiro a scapegoat. There's a lot of problems. And, you know, if we were playing crap when Casemiro wasn't playing, so why is he becoming a scapegoat when he's come back and we start winning? Who knows? Going into Casemiro as well, I think the one thing that we do struggle with Casemiro is his ability to cover mass amounts of ground and play at a high intensity that Ten Hag wants. That's something he won't be able to do at his age, but you can see by his heat map that he did cover a lot of ground to do. He did have a lot of work to do, and Ten Hag's system is very demanding, and in the long term, he will need to be replaced, but he had a very good game. The fourth thing we learned is that Dalot is becoming underrated. I mean, Dalot must have had 7 or 8 games in a row, but I've actually sat and thought, you know what? Dalot's been absolutely brilliant. Dalot's been brilliant. The cross for the assist for the McTominay goal was brilliant. The one thing I slated Dalot was because Dalot has this rep for being bad at defending. I've never had a problem with Dalot's defending. Every now and then he can lose concentration to be silly, but it was his crossing. I think his crossing hasn't always been the best, but his crossing is improving, and that cross to get the assist was absolutely phenomenal. But what makes Dalot stand out for me, and I've been saying this for a while, and people might not pick up on this, is he makes overlapping and underwrapping runs. That can help Garnacho. He can draw a defender out and open up space for Garnacho to run into. He can do overlapping runs, have someone for Garnacho to 1-2 with. He's really helping us in terms of our possession play, where he's inverting into midfield and creating an overload and helping have that extra body in midfield so United can get better and build up and move the ball, where he's bringing cover in midfield in case we lose the ball when he's there to defend transitions. How many times has Dalot got back and defended a 1v1 really well? How many times has Dalot got back and put in a crucial block, crucial tackle? He's done that a lot in recent games. Yes, he's not as good as Wan-Bissaka 1v1, but he's really stepping up defensively. But also he'll go up that wing with Garnacho, provide him an outlet to do a 1-2, provide him an outlet to underlap, and he's been really good at that. I think defensively, Dalot's looked really good, making last-ditch tackles, blocks today, goal line clearance today, but it's his work rate that's amazing, it's his IQ that's amazing, and I think his technical ability is really underrated. I think Dalot is technically very secure on the ball, which is something that we lack in the squad. He's technically very good at following Ten Hag's instructions, whether it's invert, play out wide, and help Ten Hag alter his systems, and I think that Dalot is a very underrated player for United. Going into the fifth and final thing we learned, and then is McTominay's a super sub. I tweeted this after the West Ham game at the bottom. As I said before, McTominay's best role was off the bench. He brings energy, unpredictability, and a goal threat with his runs. Also makes us better at set pieces. Not good enough to start, as it means we have less control in midfield, but as a super sub, I have no issue. And that is because when McTominay starts, he doesn't contribute all round enough to start. But as a sub, he's a real threat. He's not good enough when he starts, doesn't offer enough when he starts, but as a sub, he's a real threat. Because all of a sudden you've got someone that's good at set pieces, someone that allows you to play long, play balls into the box, play over the man-to-man press, someone that can win headers, someone that knows how to make runs into the box because the defenders will be focusing on Hojlund and then McTominay will make a run and it's really hard for defenders to mark box crashing and midfielders. It makes it hard. He causes a lot of problems because he's unpredictable. And I think he should be Ten Hag super sub. And I said these last few watch-alongs, I don't mind McTominay coming on because he is a super sub. I don't want him to start. We lose control of the game when he starts. He doesn't offer control midfield. He doesn't offer enough in terms of all-round game. What McTominay does is he makes runs, he gets in behind, he makes it difficult, and he's a threat. McTominay is only useful when you need that goal, not when you need to control a game, break a team down. That's when you don't want McTominay. These are the kind of games where he's useful. Anyway, people, that is 5 things we've learned from Manchester United 2, Aston Villa 1. Let me know your thoughts down below. Let me know if you liked today's video. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time. Bye.